Alright y'all, so today is going to be a little bit of a tutorial on how I do my Rottweiler's raw feed. Went to my meat market and then I got some stuff for us humans. And then here's what I got for Nova. I got a beef heart and then I got I think that's a kidney slices. And then I got the liver. I think that's the liver. The other one were kidney slices. So what I'm going to do is just going to get them in the sink, throw the bags away, and get my process started. My husband leaving stuff in the sink again. So start off with making sure the sink is clogged, and then I'll put some warmed hot water in there. I'm not trying to cook these or blanch them in any way. I'm just getting them de-thawed because this liver is really frozen. That heart's really frozen. So here's what I need. I get some kitchen shears, tongs, slotted spoon, a bowl, and a strainer, and a bigger bowl. I like to use glass. And you've got to get these guys out of their packages. And this is where I will go ahead and make sure everything is de-thawed. I will put everything in that big glass bowl just to make it easier. Taking off my rings because you don't want them on. Making sure everything's out of their packages. Making sure everything is good and headed on its way to being de-thawed. Marley following me. So what I will start off with is making sure that everything is nice and rinsed. I like to rinse my meat, just get all that extra blood off of it. This is going to be a video with lots of blood, so if you're not into that sort of thing, then don't even watch. So here I am cutting everything up. I do like to cut things up into about 1-inch pieces. That is because when I go to put everything in the bags later, I have a variety of larger and smaller pieces, and that way I can get it exactly to the weight I need it to be. We have a Rottweiler, and her name is Nova. She was just on a regular, just normal old kibble, and we noticed that she was eating a lot, and she still wasn't looking her best, and we had some leftover venison, and we decided to go ahead and give it to her. And within a week, we noticed that she was starting to fill out as a puppy. She's still not even a year old yet at this time. So we went ahead and started giving her the raw just once a day at night, and that's the schedule she's still on, and this is the highlight of her day. Every night when she eats, she is absolutely just ready to go and ready to eat. But we went ahead and added the raw to her diet, and with a Rottweiler, they are high energy breeds, and they have to have that nutrition to burn off, because if they don't have it to burn off, they're just going to burn it out of them, and they're going to get skinny. And that's what was happening with Nova. Marley, you can see her behind me there. She is actually, she has pancreatitis, so she's actually on a low protein diet. She does not get any of this. That way it doesn't mess up her tummy. But none of my dogs actually get people food. And that just helps me making sure that they aren't getting something that's going to mess them up. It also allows me to know exactly what they're eating, and it allows me to have nice, healthy dogs. But with right here, my strainer was getting full, so I went ahead and dumped the old water out. I did not want to cross-contaminate any of the old water with the new water, so I went ahead and just dumped it. No big deal. The liver that I'm chopping up now, this stuff here, I like to get at least one big piece of liver, um, because liver is just so nutritious. It is so good for them, and again, Nova loves it. I think the liver at my local meat market, it's about $1.50 a pound. That heart there, however, it's very expensive. I don't get one typically, but being that it was near the about the Christmas time, they didn't have much options. Um, the heart was about $3, and they're extremely hard to break down. You do have to use a knife, because again, getting my kitchen shears around them was extremely difficult, and it was still very frozen because it was so thick. So here I am here breaking down as much as I can with the kitchen shears. Um, Heart is really good for them, but again, because of the price, I typically don't. We also feed anything else like venison, um, chicken livers, chicken heart, chicken gizzards, turkey. They have pork, but for personal preferences, I don't typically feed pork, so I don't usually get that. They also have lamb occasionally, but she eats lamb in her regular kibble too, which is a high protein kibble, that we switched her to add to her high protein diet. So we don't feed lamb typically, again, because lamb typically is more expensive. And again, it's not about price for us. We want to make sure she's getting the best. But at the same time, we do have to kind of stick to a normal budget. This is a smaller order that I did. Typically, this will take me about 2 hours. But I only got about 10 pounds instead of, my normal, about 25. So this took me only about 30 minutes, I'd say. Each of these videos originally were 30 minutes. So once I am done here, then I will go ahead and start using or putting everything in my seal meal packages, and making sure that everything's good. We feed Nova half pounds of this. So it's actually pretty cost effective. If you think about it, $1.50 a pound, half that's your price per day. She loves it, and it helps keep her nice and muscled, and whatever helps keep her healthy, that's what we're going to try and do. We're probably going to be doing this the rest of her life, unless she doesn't end up needing the high protein. Again, she's only 10 months, so that will just be an as is. I like to listen to my dog's bodies and watch their bodies and see what they need physically. Each dog is different. I got one that's high protein, one that's low protein. Raw diets are, again, up to your dog and what you feel comfortable. Not everybody's comfortable doing this, working in their kitchen and long hours and cutting up meat. So it's up to you and your dog if this is what y'all are wanting to do. And here I am finishing up this last little bit. Meat had a good layer of fat on it. I was really pleased about that. Nova loves her fat. So, yep, finishing up, and then we will move on to the last step. So this is the last step. This is packaging. This takes me just about as long as it is to cut up the meat. So here I am. I am rinsing out my sink. I'm using cold water this time. And I am putting the meat in the actual sink that I just washed out with soap and water. And this allows me to get a good mix of all the types of meat that I'm using, whether it's all one type, like just beef or just chicken, or if it's a mixture of beef, chicken, or whatever. But it also allows me to get a good mix of the different organs that I'm using. And it just just convenient for me. So once I get that all in there, then I'll give it a good stir, making sure that everything is incorporated, and putting my bowl in my dishwasher because I don't want it sitting on the counter. And then using my Clorox wipes so I can go ahead and keep my hands clean as best I can. I do try my best to keep everything as clean as possible. So I have a good system here. I try and minimalize the amount of time that I'm just kind of standing around. This was very short. This only took me 30 minutes. But again, typically this takes me anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. So the more effectively I use my time, the better. Because again, I do this at night after my husband's gone to bed and the dogs are asleep, so I don't have anything or anyone bothering me. So what I typically do is I will go ahead and cut a bag. I'll seal it, and then while that's sealing, I will go ahead and grab my next batch. Nova gets half-pound packages. These packages are what work for her and for me. It's very cost-effective. So if you think, $1.50 for a pound, just cut that in half. So it's up to you and your dog about how much they get. So my system typically is I will, while the old or the last package was sealing, I will go ahead and grab my next batch, have it measured out. That's what I'm doing there. And then I will seal it, open it, dump it, seal it, grab my next batch, make sure it's half a pound, grab the next one, seal it, cut the new bag. And I just try and make sure that everything that I'm doing is as effective as possible. Right here I am cleaning out the inside of my seal meal because unfortunately when you are sucking out the air with your seal meal, you are also possibly sucking out any extra juices, which is why I use a slotted spoon. Unfortunately, it doesn't get all of the liquid out. So that little reservoir will get kind of icky. So I will, as you saw there, dump it out and then just continue on. I do make sure that everything is nice and clean when I am done. I'm not a germaphobe, but at the same time, I do not want meat sitting around, meat germs sitting around in my kitchen. Germs are real, and I do not want them, especially when they come from raw meat. So here is, I do believe, my last package. And then I will make sure that everything that I have used is either in the dishwasher or has been wiped down. So making sure my food scale is put away. Shout out to Walmart for my food scale. It is a digital food scale, which I love. Here I am using Clorox wipes to wipe down my seal meal. And I'm going to spray my entire kitchen with Clorox spray. And I use my Clorox wipe to wipe down my counters, my Dawn dish soap to wipe out or wash out my sink. So, as I said earlier, the seal meal does pull out some of the juice and water that is in with the packages. So I use my warm water and I will go ahead and just rinse off my packages. It just keeps my freezer a lot cleaner, and also when you de-thaw them, they do kind of get a little messy. So to prevent any extra spills or leakage, I do line my freezer with tin foil. Marley over there making sure I'm doing it right. And I did have some venison packages left over. Those are on the top shelf. I'll take those out and make sure I'm not putting the new stuff on top of the old. Typically, I will make sure that I go to the store, I'll go to the meat market on the day of my last package, so I don't have any leftovers. And then we're done. But that was venison leftover. So this next clip's going to be a little bit bloody. Again, if you don't like that, don't watch this part. Just keep it in the refrigerator. Here it is going on top of Nova's food. And then I'm going to throw the package away. I hate these aren't reusable, but I really don't want to wash these and then reseal them. And there's Miss Nova, sliding in like a champ. And her wait command and her okay. She loves this. She goes straight for the raw. Again, she's a 10-month-old Rottweiler. There's Miss Novi. And that's it.